yours. Couldn't believe I'd become revolutionary. Wait for my head on a silver plate. Oh, who? Missionaries in a foreign field. St. Peter won't call my name. But that was when I ruled. Hear Jerusalem bells ring, Roman cavalry choirs. Hello, chat. Ooh, well, we can either go with this. You know what? Let's go with this. And then let's see if I can do. That was. That work? There's chat up there in the top of screen. So, just so you guys are aware. Oh, of course, it required an update. Yeah, skip that for now. Log me in. Why am I being advertised the stomach medication? I'm an American. Yep. I mean, maybe they just assume that you want to do something about it. Did you just re-request this? Yes? Okay. Trying to make sure. Okay. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I did just get the go live tweet out. Do me the favor, please. Go give it some love. I know I'm not doing the artwork as of right now. I'm still like thinking about how I want to handle things. I actually did some ideation today on that front. So, because today I was not completely exhausted. I'm still tired, but I'm not like completely exhausted like I was yesterday. I also tried to fix Aurelia. I rebooted the computer before stream. That's why I'm running a little bit behind. And I can't get her program to work, so I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that. That's not good, in my opinion. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing good today. We definitely had some interesting developments again. King, thank you for the 52. Appreciate it. Just in the realm of gaming news, we had Megabonk that actually pulled itself out of the Game Awards consideration because, according to the dev, he has created other games before, and therefore he should not be under the debut indie category, which is what he was nominated for. So everyone's like lauding him for being an upstanding guy for doing this. But on the other hand, while that is true, I look at this and I go like, huh, it's almost like the Game Awards nominated somebody for something they shouldn't have, which just makes me laugh immensely. There's no 1080p option, Sag. Yeah, I do want to talk to you guys about that. So obviously, and I know why there's no 1080p. It's because I have the 2K streaming, which apparently ever since I enabled that, there's no 1080p option, which is just weird. Actually, let me double check something real quick here. Yes, it's not on OBS, so it's purely through Twitch that's the case. Which again, I've heard the reason why is because it doesn't allow 2K in all countries, which is stupid to me, but it is what it is. I will look into it a little bit more if I can remember. It's definitely one of the things on my to-do list in regards to I have a lot of stuff I have to look at for stream here. But yeah, I found that really funny that Megabonk basically pulled themselves out. Dune Awakening finally announced their 1.2.20 patch today, which does allow for at least the ability to kind of take things from like one zone to another, which is something you couldn't do before. You could fly a vehicle, but you couldn't have the vehicle carry something. Now you apparently can, which is nice. Apparently they're claiming there's ornithopter griefing protection, but from what I remember reading in the notes, it's like no, they're not. They're drumming something up to be that, but it's not true. Like they're basically trying to lie on social media just to get people's attention again, because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but last I checked, Dune Awakening was down to about 3,000 active players, whereas Conan still is at like 5,000 to 8,000. And I'm sure that 3,000 that I saw in the picture, like it probably goes up during a peak time, so it's probably higher. But like, yeah, Dune Awakening is not doing good. It is a much newer game. It's a much more popular, more recent IP. And they have just completely bungled the game because there's just not content updates for it. And the changes that are coming are small and they are not what people actually want. Hytale actually was in the news today because I don't know how many of you guys know what Hytale is, but it's kind of like a Minecraft adventure, like fantasy adventure type of clone game, and it looks really good, honestly. It was a project that Riot Games had funded and owned, and they canceled the project, and now the original creators have bought the rights back from Riot Games and are now going to go ahead and make it. Which, I need to say this, that is so good. It's so awesome that is the case. I love seeing this, and hear me out why. Okay? Yeah, even if it's not your cup of tea, you should be ecstatic about this. This is a developer trying to get their game produced by a major company. The company saying, no, we're not making it. This is a bad idea. And the developer saying, no, you're idiots. We're going to make it without you now. That's so good for the industry because I can't tell you how many thousands of ideas have been shot down over the years by these companies. It's actually amazing to hear this, and I hope it happens more. I hope that more of these developers that have a passionate idea that the company nixes can secure the funding to make it themselves. Because that's what the industry needs. It needs more creativity. It needs more of a return to its grassroots and like away from the extremely corporatized structure that everything has become. That's where gaming was at its best. Gaming now is formulaic and bad, frankly, in that regard. So I want to see more of this. I want to see this game pop off and have Riot Games go like, fuck, we fucked up. In the same way that we've seen now with Ubisoft. Chat, y'all know the story of whatchamacallit, Expedition 33. What you probably didn't also realize is that Dispatch also came from Ubisoft. The creators of Ad Hoc Studios were former Telltale Games devs that went to work for Ubisoft. Ubisoft stuck them on a game they didn't want to go on, and it ended up floundering, and they ended up quitting Ubisoft and forming Ad Hoc. I love hearing these stories. This is why everybody and their brother that I know of is almost celebrating Ubisoft having financial trouble or potentially getting bought out, because they deserve it. And so many of these other major publishers deserve it too. How many games have we lost out on that we never got to see the light of day because the company just said, no, this is a bad idea. We don't like it. It's too risky. And it's like, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe that's when you need to cut them out, put them on an island and say, we'll give you the funding you need, but we're not going to put the full brunt of AAA behind this. That's the problem with a lot of these companies, is the AAA structure to everything is way too bloated, inefficient, and costly now. That's why they don't want to take any risks. So yeah, Titanfall 3 would be another great example. Like, make Titanfall 3. People want it. Like, oh, EA doesn't want to fund it. Okay, fuck you. Let's Kickstarter it. Like, that's basically what you need at this point, because these companies are shutting down legitimate good ideas. And what this reminds me of, chat, is this reminds me of basically when the industry first had Steam come into being, and all of a sudden there was this new mechanism for publishing games. We saw a colossal change when that happened, because developers started to realize, I don't need the major AAA company. It is no longer a requirement. Now, companies still developers will still turn to those companies for the security and safety that they provide, but it's not worth your project. If you take a project to them that you want to get funded and they agree to it and then try to reverse course, that should be an immediate non-starter. And more of them should be putting contractually in there, like, hey, if the company says no, it becomes mine. I shouldn't have to pay them. If they no longer wish to move forward with the project, I shouldn't have to buy it back from them. That's the only sad part about Hytale. So it's definitely nice to see this happen. I hope to see this happen with more. Guild Wars apparently is getting reforged. I'm not sure I would have gone with the name Reforged, given the prior remake that used Reforged was not a success. But this is an interesting one, because Guild Wars has been beloved for a long time. There are still people that play it even to this day. This is not Guild Wars 2. This is the original Guild Wars. It's getting reforged now. So that's going to be interesting in and of itself. And I was talking with Bob about it a little bit too, because the other day, Yoshi P for Final Fantasy XIV alleged that they're going to be trying to kind of remake 14 again. And I'm like, huh? Like that's weird, but you know, that's just one line in an interview. There's no like kind of direct announcement for something like that, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what they're going to try to do, because it's pretty clear, I think, at least some of these companies are realizing it's like, hey, there's still legs on this sort of stuff. Like, it's just still popular. And I think part of what it is has been that people have seen just how popular something like Warcraft Classic has been. So people are like, wait, we can do that too. Like, we can just bring back this old game that we shut down. This game that has lived on in legend in the mind of people that just, you know, played it back in the day but no longer can play it, or just like it's not socially relevant enough to get enough of a footing. If we re-announce it, if we remake it, if we make it available again to people, now it can pop off again potentially, and we can double up on that. Yoko Taro saying everything he's been working on has been getting canceled. Yeah, that was the next one, which is really kind of crazy. He said, quote, I often get told stuff like, why aren't you making a new sequel to Nier? Or Yoko Taro isn't doing anything. But that's because recently a lot of projects I was involved in got discontinued midway through development. I've actually been working on some stuff. It's just that it never ended up seeing the light of day. I got paid for it, so I personally have no issues with that. But people seem to think that I haven't been doing anything just because none of the work I've done is being released. I don't view that as a negative thing. I believe that if I'm going to release something weird, it'd be better off not releasing anything at all. I'd be better off not releasing anything at all. So, which I think where he views weird is like not in the sense of like how he's talked about before, where it's like the video games industry doesn't have enough weird people. I think he's meaning weird here in the sense of like something that is not what people are expecting, and it's maybe not a good thing necessarily. He's saying, he's like, I don't view it as a negative thing, but he's just saying like, hey, I'm not going to release a like half finished project for you guys. And that is interesting. It does make me wonder, like, is that like Square Enix behind him that's canceling projects? Is that, like people that maybe had like a side project on that they were funding it and they pulled the funding? And maybe is like some of this like his own projects that are still in the works. I don't know. But yeah, Yoko Taro's not doing anything. Sorry, he's not doing anything. And it's definitely an interesting thing to hear him come out and talk about that in an interview. Obviously, he can't tell you what he's working on. I think that sort of thing just is par for the course in the video games industry. But I do like hearing that he's still working on stuff, and it does make me wonder, like, is again Square Enix maybe the problem here? And the reason why people would think it's Square Enix is because if you guys have been following gaming news for a while, you should know that Square Enix has kind of they basically a couple of years ago tried to go hard into NFTs and AI. And then thankfully they woke up and went like, wait, this isn't working. Shit, we shouldn't do this. And when they did that, they completely changed course. The problem is they apparently canceled a bunch of game projects in the result of that. And there is now this like functionally 3-year gap where Square Enix has like practically nothing. Like they've announced their development roadmap and there is nothing for like 3 years, basically. It's not a good situation to be in. But this tells me that like what happened was they just have a dearth of projects that should have come out during these 3 years that got canceled. So that's not a good thing. I do wonder though, is something that Yoko Taro was working on part of that? Or did they just decide to move in a different direction and they like pulled funding from his project? So it's like, I don't really know, but it is interesting nonetheless to hear. And then, yeah, I don't think we talked about it, but yesterday, City Skylines, they're no longer going to be produced by Paradox, which is weird. They're also not going to be, it's actually changing who the developer is. So it's moving to a new studio, which I don't know more on that. It may be the case that, like, the studio that they're moving to is maybe a like kind of spin-off studio from the original. I couldn't tell you. I do know that that has happened actually with Star Wars The Old Republic. Basically, it was bought by who was it? It's not, I keep wanting to say Saber Interactive, but I don't think it is. It's a splinter studio of the devs that worked on it. And they just kind of said, we don't want to do this anymore. Like basically BioWare didn't want to have control of it, so they just sold the rights to it. And it's still being produced by the devs, but the devs are now their own studio. So that is interesting to say the least, and it makes me wonder if that's the same deal with City Skylines 2. But I'll be honest, I think the biggest issue with City Skylines 2, and really a lot of like games like it, is that it never actually delivered on the SimCity promise that everyone's been wanting. Even these SimCity remakes have been hot tier garbage because everybody keeps trying to do these like small maps and like districting and stuff, and it's like people just want updated graphics SimCity. They don't want restrictions and like you can only build in this area. Like nobody wants that. Give us terraforming. Give us the ability to expand the area that we're playing in. Like it's really stupid. It just tells me that the problem is the engine limitations. And while I get the engine limitations are an issue, you maybe should like think about the actual enjoyment factor of the game before you decide, oh, everything needs to be like super 3D here. It's like you can make some stuff look really beautiful, but maybe tone down other things so that the engine doesn't get overwhelmed. Was there a SimCity after the 2013 one? I don't think so. Although, wait, hold on. Are you talking about... Let me see. Yeah, 2013 was... Wait, was it? Was 2013 where they like redid it? I just didn't remember that being back in 2013. Yeah, oh, interesting. I'm reading on it now. So apparently one of the devs made a statement that Maxis originally intended for the whole map to be playable. Apparently, the backend server infrastructure was the bottleneck in the system that prevented the grand plan from coming to fruition. Oh my god. Okay, let me explain, chat. If you don't know what that means, let me clue you in. Wait, what? That's Kerbal Space Program. That's not SimCity. Yeah, okay, here you go. Perfect. God, dude. Yeah, here you go. Okay. So, chat, this looks like somebody just built a couple squares, right? This was SimCity 2013. This was the problem with it. This was the only like buildable space that you had. Like if you guys can see the like white lines, this is it. This is all you could build. This is why everyone hated it. It was so fucking tiny and constricted. It was so bad. And the comment I just read says that basically this is what I guess Ocean Quigley said about the game, which I don't know who Ocean Quigley is. Oh, he's the creative director. Okay, so here you go. The eventual vision was that the whole region, the whole vast 32 kilometer by 32 kilometer region, would be one potential city, and you could build anywhere in it, said Quigley. He added that while SimCity Simulation Engine, quote, would have let us scale eventually to larger and larger cities, end quote, the back-end server infrastructure was the bottleneck in the system that prevented the grand plan from coming to fruition. Allow me to translate, chat. Cross got it right. It is the fact that this is always online. Everybody hated that aspect, but absolutely Maxis insisted and EA insisted that this be always online. And because it was always online, this was all you could fucking build in. That one decision fucked the game. I am now even angrier because City Skylines has done the same thing, which means that it is possible, and it's pure greed is what's preventing it. Anyways, chat, how was your Tuesday? That actually just answered a like 12-year-old question and like verified that everyone was right about it. Everyone. And also, hello, Creamy. Sorry, I did read your comments earlier. Thanksgiving potluck. Nice. It was funny when it came out, the servers crashed, so you couldn't play it unless you cracked it. Yeah. That's so aggravating, because that's all really anybody wants is a newer version of SimCity. And it was like, okay, you can have a newer version of SimCity in a box. And it's always online. And it's like, nobody asked for this. Literally no one. But it's the whole games as a service mentality. They wanted to be able to like farm your data, milk you for DLC, and like profit off of this game by monetizing it further. What's up, Aurelius? Time after time. Your AP is rotting? Is it? Oh, because I'm doing a 0 AP. Whoops. Thank you. I've been doing these all day, chat, so you'll have to forgive me. I think Conan went to maintenance, couldn't log back in. No, I rebooted my computer. The server should be up now. But I did reboot my computer, and I totally forgot to like warn people that were on the Conan server. Got an offer going out to a place today to move to. Nice. Hopefully you guys get it. I have somebody to list to do in JP. I've actually already done a ton. So just talking about the like 10 quartz milestone that you get for every 10 of them you do, I've already redeemed that twice today. So I've done at least 20 of them today, which is kind of wild. I didn't even notice because I've done all the ones I can besides servants I don't own. Well, you should notice then, because there should be some servants you don't own. You're the first to see it so far, and the seller wants to close by mid-December. That's actually good. That means that the seller is kind of desperate. Like, I wouldn't overplay your hand, but that's a good sign for you. Because that was kind of the same way that I got my house. Was the people that the guy that used to live here was a British foreign national. He owned a home in Florida, and he I guess passed away, not in the home, thank God. But I guess like who the owners were his estate that was overseas in the UK, and they like the family just wanted it sold. They didn't want to have to deal with that. So that worked out really well for me because it just allowed me to kind of swoop in and be like, hey, yeah, totally. Let's do this. So it's like every once in a while you'll get lucky like that, and that's kind of what house buying unfortunately entails. Though I've heard the housing market is not doing good right now. Oh, do I not have storm pods? I guess not. Wait, is this JP? Yeah, hold on. This is JP. What am I doing? What am I doing? And it's an end unit. Nice. As long as you don't mind being an end unit, that is good. Zenith V. Zarovich. Thank you for the follow. I don't understand why so many people have Tiamat equipped with a damage C. You really don't need it. Market rates suck. Well, I've heard there's just an oversaturation. Everything is way too pricey. And so it is functionally like people just don't want to buy right now. So the sellers are beginning to like panic and freak out. And there's way too many like investment firms involved. Where's the Grand Shinggong? I'm sure that'll be happening when actually Grand Shinggong would be hilarious if they made him the Grand Duelist. Just want to jump and say, hey, I'm a huge fan of yours. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I bought my first home this year. It wasn't fun. Yeah, home buying, like home shopping kind of can be, but the act of like all the stress of actually like securing the purchase, no, it's not. I agree. No. No one wants them 50-year mortgages, right? Like, indentured servitude. Sellers have been pulling more pulling listing over lowering their prices. Yeah, and I think that's part of the problem. Like, basically neither side wants to budge, so the result is that like both sides lose. And I do think eventually there's going to be a bubble burst here. Everything is overvalued from housing to stocks. Once one falls, it all goes down. Yep. And I don't think you'll necessarily see like Great Depression level stuff, but I do think like, again, it's like the bubble's gonna pop and shit's gonna normalize. Damn, Squirt needs an NP buff. She do, but part of this is also because this is a specific duel that is like, oh, if you are man attribute, you get a lot more damage here. Which I actually need to go look at the grand effects. Capich? Some tech stocks are still artificially high. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I love when you hit refresh and you get the same people. If Romani becomes summonable, will you roll for him? It would depend on what the kit was, but yes, potentially. I do like Romani as a character. Come on, game. They exist, I know it. Hiya. Multi-generational indentured servitude. Well, I do think that the gap between the two is widening, and it's not a good thing. Ah, see, look, here's Deontay. But no pens, so. AI bubble far larger than .com bubble. I think AI is a bubble that will eventually self-deflate rather than burst. And what I mean by that is that somebody will probably... Bro. I feel so bad for this guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. This is why you check. Pen swaps exist though? Right. It certainly is a choice. It is. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, you fucking idiot or anything like that. It's just the reason I say the guy doesn't know, chat, just FYI, in case some of you guys don't know. The crit append, kind of worthless on Tiamat if you're running her in like a double Tiamat comp, because she just actually will hit the cap. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of not worth having over having like the maxed out mana loading append that allows double Tiamat to function. And you complain about me not unlocking a single one? Yeah, that yours is still worse. Yours is still worse, Diot. Tell you about the lack of a pinned refund, even if it was that one time. Could think of a couple servants I'd have kept coins for. I mean, yeah, I do agree. It's fine, especially now that they've kind of given us alternate means of securing the coins. But yeah, I would still like to see. Hopefully, they add some sort of external, like new system to the game that, because they have added it, they no longer need to care about coins, and they just make coins like super easy to get. That would be awesome. Is SR still sub only? I believe so. But you can't ask one of the subs. Tiamat has 100% more use of mana loading than anything else. Yeah, and like it's fine. It's I usually assume somebody like that is probably just like using single Tiamat and doesn't realize. So it's like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my god. It's just like a man, I feel bad for them. Oh, whoa. Now, what I should probably do is I should probably find a way to like one turn this. But I am so lazy. And I'm also getting to level my Mystic Coat this way. I don't know if chat has noticed that that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a non-efficient Mystic Code just to level it. Because I never got it done during its event. Which it's almost done. I think it is rank 9 already. Take a support DPS? I probably could, yeah. Bonk. I can't one turn it with my Grand Fujino. That is what it is. I don't think you necessarily have to. It's just obviously like more time efficient if you do. But I don't really particularly find the Gil one very difficult. Like, even again, it's like, oh no, I didn't one turn it. Oh well. Wait, what? Why did I pop that? Oops. Let's go like that. It's going pretty good, Strum. How about you? Naked Gil doesn't look very naked. I mean, it's just Gil. Like, I can tell that this one's low-key kind of phoned in, chat. And not like in a way that it's like bad, more like in a way that like the devs are clearly busy working on the finale and potentially even stuff beyond that. So I suspect that's what's going on and why like this one's very simple and straightforward. And it may be too that they had to do the prologue. They maybe are going to pull out a little bit more stops with the caster grand duel. So I think they just said Archer, whatever, throw Gil at it. And that's just kind of what they did. No, I wanted to touch that button. There we go. Okay, chat. Let's switch over to NA. Get this done first. King of Jobbers has a title to live up to, yeah. Gil throwing a fight like usual. I think it's 100% focused on finale. We'll probably have a quiet January for JP. I don't think it'll necessarily be quiet, because they supposedly push something, but we'll see. And if it is, it is. I at least hope, regardless of their content pace immediately afterwards, that they make some announcements. That's my big like shtick here. So we do have the event tomorrow on NA. Well, actually, sorry, we have the live stream tomorrow on NA. The event should be Thursday. But my weeklies include 3 Good Servants and Hellfires of Wisdom. Have I done my Grail casting for the month? Feel like I did already, but I did. Okay. Had to double check that because I had that thought. I was like, wait, did I? I hope they at least tell us what the plan is for FGO going forward after part 2. Right. And I do think they will. But I'm hopeful that it is a positive announcement and not a negative one. I do think there is. I was explaining in chat literally just yesterday. I think there are signs that the developers are, one, pushing people to complete the story for the metrics of it so that they can pitch that. Because we know that the continued involvement in the game has to do with just how much the player base continues to play the game, but also that the devs also appear to be setting things up for future storytelling purposes. And if you've caught on to that, good. I'm not going to talk specifics on that to not spoil things, but I've said before, it's like I think it's a good sign that they are already planting some seeds to let them grow. Otherwise, this would be concerning. It would look like they are just trying to end things. William of Locksley. Yeah, actually, Robin Hood would be really cool if they went with him. Fifty percent chance of getting a new arc or a new game. I wouldn't say that's 50-50, because I would say that there's a third possibility there, and that's that you get neither. And that's unfortunate, but that is still possible, chat. I don't want to like completely blow smoke up your ass. I think the devs are preparing for it, but whether or not that actually comes to fruition is another thing entirely. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I've seen several people today that appear to be getting sick, which is interesting. I, however, am not. I refuse to. Now the grind to Bond 15 begins. Good luck. 'Tis a grind. I wish they would show me the number of embers I have. A Daedalus banner. Okay. Wait, Mega Man. Okay, so I'm only tacitly aware of like Mega Man lore. So why Daedalus? Orange juice is really good. It has vitamin C, obviously, which is what you need. Or is it D? I don't know. I don't remember. So, Kat, on the topic of you thinking AI deflating, why is that? What do you mean AI deflating? Because I don't think that's what I said. A lot more options than just two. Game continuing with Nasu and more story versus game continuing with occasional events or even just maintenance mode. Yeah. I think there's a lot of possibilities for the future of the game, and I just hope that we get one of the good ones. There are only two silhouettes from the 2025 teaser thing, and we do know that one of them is not coming this year because they said that one of the silhouettes basically got punted. You said it like 5 minutes ago? Yeah, but I don't think that's what I said. Like, I know we were talking on the subject, but we were talking on the subject of housing, not necessarily AI. Isn't this one of the OPs for one of the Gunpla shows? Hmm. Don't know. Edge of Life, just fly away. Verily. Build Fighter season series is fun. Like I said, Prophet's just trying to get into Gundam. The Gundam series has a ton of shows at this point. And that's why I usually tell people it's like because they are at best like loosely connected, I would tell you to just start wherever the hell you want. Like watch whatever the heck you find interesting. I think that's really all that matters. Also, Hard has brought this up, and I do agree, but for the video game, best video game adaptation, Sonic 3 was not included, nor was it included last year, which is kind of absurd because Sonic 3 came out in like December. So to me, it's like if it's not considered for the prior year, it should be eligible for the next year. All you need is G Gundam, yeah. To me, G Gundam is a little bit better when you've already watched another Gundam series, because then you can appreciate it a little bit more for how stupid it is. Like it's just it's great. It's funny. It's awesome. Maybe part 3 will be announced at the end of the final chapter. I suspect that what will happen is New Year's will occur, and then we will get the announcement. That is Nasu's MO so far. It's usually on like 1-1, or maybe even for us here in the States, it might be 1-2. But it's usually like on New Year's Day or something is when it actually occurs. Really? 27 out of 30? You big pile of peepo poop. I feel like late November through January games are forgotten entirely for Game of the Year. I kind of agree. Also, chat, 2 hours on your teapots if you hadn't already used them. Upgraded my Disney Plus to have Hulu and noticed they have Gundam the Origin. I'm surprised you upgraded your Disney Plus because it just doubled in price, apparently. Most people I know have been canceling their Disney Pluses, which is kind of wild. I think, unfortunately, for better or worse, people are saying, like, hey, the value is just not here anymore. Especially because when one of them tries to jack up their rates, the next one tries. And then it's like, okay, so now instead of like you paying more just for one of them, you're paying more for all of them. Part 3 begins when Ritsuka comes back. That'd be interesting. After she's been a dick the entire time? Yeah. Skip the middle arc of G because it drags ass. I mean, it is what it is. Part of me wants an FGO 2 that's 3D but not open world and turn based. I'd be okay with that. I think like the problem that I have with FGO is simply at this point that it does feel like there's a bunch of things we're not getting because the devs are understaffed. And part of the reason the devs are understaffed is because of the bad reputation that they have. And the other part of the reason is that they require such technical expertise to do this that it's difficult for them to hire people. So it's like, I almost want them to move away from it so that they can hire more people. And therefore it's like, it becomes less of a problem. But I don't know. Why sub stuff and you can pirate easy? Yeah, I mean, I've said before, it's like, I am somebody that does kind of condone piracy. I think like, I think people should get paid, right? And so it's like, if you've done the hard work, if you've created something, you should be compensated for that. I do agree with that. But there's a point where it's just greed, where it's like you've been adequately compensated beyond your wildest dreams and you're just being greedy. And that's kind of where I view a lot of these like streaming platforms as getting to. Need to finish How I Met Your Mother. I've heard the ending for that's not good. 7 days on these at half cost. I may do them tomorrow. My situation. I pretend to close my eyes. Weekly targets. Burning bright. See that one lasagna vid that showed the employee that was dead inside? Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. It's like, I wouldn't make fun of how someone looked in the video by any stretch of the imagination. It does seem like they have a really nice office. But it also, if I had to bet, they just don't ever really have time to make use of it. And they, again, are probably just spread too thin because they're not getting enough funding. I don't know why I'm NPing here, but it is what it is. I've canceled all my streaming subscription services. I still have Prime Video through me having my Prime subscription, which thankfully the ads are getting blocked, so I don't have to watch the ads, even though they put... How do you have a subscription service that you put ads on? Like, stupid. It's like, oh, you're paying me, but you're not paying me enough. That's basically what that sounds like. I'm on the Gaben philosophy of it. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, and I'd say this, even if they treated it like a movie where like maybe the ads just occurred right at the beginning and then nowhere else, that would be more acceptable than the crap that they pull. Like, I don't get this like midstream ad crap. Can a perfect copy of Morgan 1-2 turn Grand Berserker 100 triple star farming with proper support? Which one was Grand Berserker? I feel like I was just nuking that with my single target Berserker. Yeah, I'm not sure you actually need an AoE for that, but like, so it's like, I'm hesitant to say yes, you can. You might be able to, but it may be like card RNG. Twitch has been leaning too hard on their ads, and I think that's killing it too. Yeah, I agree. And just so that we're aware, chat, I have not changed anything with ads in months. So it's like the ads are just what they are. You can tell I haven't emptied my mailbox on an A in a while, chat. You were using Bakutora, yeah. Okay, it's maybe been a little bit longer than I thought. Multiple weeks, it seems. Yeah, you could say that. Messy mailbox SMH. You can't really blame me, chat. Not like I was close to capping out. Okay, so I need to do this 2 more times. Getting low. I've been getting mostly Twitch Turbo ads 90% of the time. It's like they know they are being annoying. Oh, yeah, because remember, chat, they want you to buy Turbo. Why? Because if you buy Turbo, they only pay for the ads that you don't watch. Versus if you sub, they only get half. So this is pennies. This is dollars. So which do you think they prefer? You subbing to me and them getting half of that cut? Or you subbing to them and them getting 99.9% of that cut? This is why I don't like Twitch Turbo. Like, if you guys have Twitch Turbo, there's no problem. I'm not going to like get on to you about it. But I don't like how they are marketing it. Because it's absolutely a scam just to take things from the actual content creators. And it's funny because before they had advertising, they didn't really do anything with Twitch Turbo. It was kind of dead in the water because nobody really purchased it. Twitch Turbo is a rocket launcher to the ball of streamers. It's so funny too because they tried to sit there and be like, no, streamers, you don't have to worry about this. You're still getting paid. And it's like, yeah, instead of making $2.50, I'm now making 1 cent. Yeah, I'm still getting paid. Fuck me. It's so dumb. And then heaven forbid should the Twitch Turbo person or anybody else be running an ad blocker, it probably just doesn't factor it in anyways. I love 3-minute ads every 15 minutes. Does it run every 15 minutes for you guys? It should be running every half hour on this channel. Because I think I'm 5 minutes every hour. There should be 2.5 minutes of ads every half hour. Okay, I don't know what that was. Capture card just borked itself. Can he card? Yes. Is faster than Noble Phantasm. Paradise. I turned off targeted ads and I'm getting Spanish ads, which is weird since I'm American and I don't browse in Spanish at all. Honestly, that might be more interesting than getting American ads. Like, it might enhance the experience. All 120 also. Nice. Congratulations if you do it. You got a higher chance of gifted subs. Twitch seems to have an algo to give gifts to clankers and turbo users. Well, right now I have the discounted rates turned on because Twitch screamed at me that I have like 70 hours that I need to use. And I sat there thinking about this and I was like, oh shit. Like, I kind of actually need to use this because it expires at the end of the year. And I'm like, how many streams do I have till the end of the year? And it's like, it's probably about 70 hours worth. So I think I'm just going to run it like the entire like next month or two here. You guys can absolutely like gift subs at a discount if you so choose. I'm not going to like pressure you guys to do that sort of thing. I just was like, it was kind of either like use it or lose it type thing. And I hadn't used it all year. So it was just like, whatever. Also, it was something they just implemented like a month or two ago. It says 2 hours left for discount subs. It should be like 2 and change because it'll be, again, like I said, it's 4 hours is what I started it for. Paradise. It's ads o'clock, yeah. I gotta reload it, and guess what? Yeah. And unfortunately, Twitch is pedantic enough that they will go, oh, did you block that ad? Okay, we're not going to pay CAD for that. And it's like, I don't blame anyone here for blocking ads. It's just stupid that like Twitch is like, oh no, you blocked it, so we're going to fuck the streamer over. It's like, come on, man. They're the only like service I know that does something like that. Like, as far as I'm aware, YouTube doesn't really even pay any attention to that sort of thing. So only Twitch is that like super concerned about stuff. Oh, right. Yeah, let's do this before it expires. I did forget about this stuff. And someone reminded me of it yesterday, and I completely forgot to come in and do it. How long do these last? Worthless. They literally only last for the next day. So I have 2 hours to buy them and 2 hours until they expire. There. That's how long it took me just to buy everything in the shop. And actually, chat, that I was over 490. So that cost me like 6 grand of mana prisms right there. Like I said, I actually just don't think this is good for the game. because that will eventually run even me out. And maybe that's their plan, but I'm like, you're just giving me more resources compared to everyone else. Let's buy that. I have 253. No. I don't like buying the faux paw prints, but I will buy the gold foes. I still go back and forth as to whether or not I should buy the. I guess I'll buy one. I don't really think I need to. I'm so far ahead on them. It's kind of ridiculous. With as much MP as you have, will anything make a dent? Yeah, I mean, like, that actually just made a dent. It was a small dent. But that was like, again, I have such a lead, it's probably not going to matter. Because I will be impacted by this, but by the time I would have to complain, people would have already been complaining for years. Like, people are complaining now. So, oh boy, charge me 6,000 a month. I'll eventually run out, but how many years into the future is that? Like I said, it's not really going to end up being a thing because they'll probably end up implementing some sort of fix for it. Because when enough people complain, they're just going to go like, oh shit, yeah, I guess we have to do something about this. Buy them. You'll run out so fast farming Randuls. No, I won't. I'm not you guys that hyper bond farm. I literally farm efficiently rather than anything else. Okay, so I still need 40 more for that one. 140 up here and 140 here. So that's 280 plus 40 is 320. Plus the 100 I have now, so 420 is what I need to get to. Just gonna start spending my bronze apples because I freaking hate. I like having some bronze apples, but otherwise I hate like having a plethora of them. Like there's nothing I can do about that. How close are we? Yeah, we're about halfway on this. But no, like I even my JP is not close to running out of whatchamacallits. And I have bought far more on NA than I ever did on JP of the Bond Grails. Why not? You're gonna get more in a month. We'll see. I've already told you guys, like, I'm also not sure with regards to my future as to like how much I'll be spending on the game in the future. I leave that sort of thing up to consideration, but assuming my relationship goes well and things get serious, chat, that would potentially mean settling down, marriage, kids, stuff like that, and all sorts of extra considerations that I currently don't have. That would mean that I would not want to be spending money on a gacha game. Just saying. Like, so if I'm not spending money on a gacha game, that means I'm probably not getting nearly as many rare prisms. If I'm not getting nearly as many rare prisms, that means my rare prisms run dry, and therefore I don't necessarily want to spend them in ways that would be inefficient. Cad, can you believe that my Coin of Light is still Bond 9? I always default to quicker arts. Yeah, I believe that. I absolutely believe that. What if I told you guys that my Squirtoria on sorry, not my Squirtoria, my Castoria on NA is still not Bond 15. I still have 30 Bond grills on JP. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, we can check. I have no idea how many I have. Oh, I'm close to leveling up. Uh-oh. Profit finish Wish for Mercury? How did you guys already finish it that fast? Have you guys just been watching it all day? Like, you literally started it like a day ago. Oh, right. We need to do my spin. They have. He binged it out of Discord. I mean, it is what it is. If you like a show, binge it. Especially if you got nothing else to do. Vikeberon. Okay, so we wanted to see how many Bond grills I have. Now, what you guys can see is I do have some candidates that could be Bond grailed. That being said, they're nobody that I consider myself like, oh man, I'm just going to keep using this unit over and over again. Like, I am very unlikely to get to that point. Like, I might Bond grail like Gareth or Georgios or Leonidas just for the sake of like having a low star to Bond. But that would be it. That's literally the only reason why. They've been giving out like candy. I mean, in general, it takes you a long time to Bond farm someone up unless you are hyper fixating a person. FGO will likely implement a way to farm Sankquartz given that the devs teased a new mechanic and they teased you'll be getting a crap ton of Sankquartz when part 2 finale is completed. I don't know that they teased that. At least not from what I've seen or heard. You'd have to tell me what you're referring to, because I have not heard anything along those lines. Probably my Fire Dragon Ardean weapons for GOG on Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, I heard that they're adding like a new way to update and upgrade like Ardean weapons, and I'm kind of like meh at this point. I kind of at first I thought Ardean weapons were good, and the only problem with them was being able to glamour. I'm kind of like reversing stance and thinking that Ardean weapons are kind of bad. Because the way that they are handled is really bad in the game in terms of the grind. And so all that does is make me mod it, and then the temptation is there for me to just like switch what it's modded to. I haven't done that yet. Once I create an Ardean weapon, I usually stick to it, but it's like I kind of wish instead that we just had the base like weapons, and it just was what it was. Wow, I guess it's all my Tiamat's cards. Later, King. Have a good one, bud. The ending to it was nice to see as a break from the usual. I think like Witch of the Mercury ended quite well. I think it is a very slow Gundam originally, and it kind of results in maybe things not being as they should. And I don't think that's necessarily like the worst thing, but hmm. I have 188. So still need a lot more. Nope. Do it like that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that many. I'm gonna level up. Fudge. Not as far as I'm aware, Cosmic. Like the 1,000 courts, yes, but not that there was something coming after the ending of part two. Because to my knowledge, they very limitedly talked about that. And most of it was to say that there would be content that they had pushed and that the game would continue on, but that was it. And I know like Takeuchi mentioned in an interview specifically that FGO would have an 11th Annie. But that's really like the limitation of what we know. Do you think Urael would get another NP upgrade to make her damage actually scale properly? Probably not. It'd be interesting to see, but probably not. Element damage would need to be fixed. Element damage just needs to be fixed. Like I would counter with element damage needs to be fixed. That is a separate issue in and of itself. At least with the talisman grind, I get to enjoy the hunts and it's not having to pause menu to menu. Wait, what? See, I don't really grind talismans either for the exact same problem. It's like I don't like all the RNG stuff that they're doing. I don't mind having to grind for something. I don't want it to like kind of the Genshin style of like, oh, you're never gonna get a perfect one. It's like, dude, that's where I basically just say no. I'm just modding this because unfortunately, I'm at the point where I just don't care for that style of thing in games anymore. It is a time wasty mechanic. It's a player retention mechanic. And like if you have the time for it, go for it. I'm a working adult. I don't have time for it. It's like grinding one thing, grinding with potentially no end in sight. No, I'm not doing that. Which I also think is partially why with some of the like longer form games that I've tried out, I've had issues with some of them. Games that are designed to take up a lot more of your time. I think it's just my schedule demands a little bit of like freedom to be able to move back and forth. And so live service games that try to restrict me and try to force me into a pattern, or games that try to like take up as much of my schedule as possible, just naturally don't work. I could have misinterpreted something. That's what I'm guessing. Like, I'm not going to fault you for it. It's just like, if you have something, show it to me. I will re-examine it just to make sure that, like, I'm not telling you wrong either. Because obviously, I would want every crumb and tidbit for the future as well. And then bathroom break time. Thank you. Really appreciate knowing that. Chat is now saved for knowing that you are going to take a bathroom break. Do it yourself cherry Coke. What, Coke with grenadine? Yeah, yeah. I think the servant that was supposed to get released instead of Olga on Annie and reported to Valentine, maybe Nero Venus, as it would make sense as Venus is the goddess of love. Well, yes, I would not at all be surprised if it's the bomb girl from Guda Guda. Like that one, I feel like you could do her as Valentine's servant and it would kind of just work. But I would definitely like to see Nero Venus. Would also like to see Nero Santa. Unfortunately, we know we're not getting a Christmas this year on JP per their own words, which is big sad. It's better than any of the others I've had except for the fresh from the dispenser. Yeah. It was so sad Bomb Girl wasn't a gotcha unit. Nobody that I saw has anything on Trubs. Trubs was like actually visibly upset and like making multiple comments on like the devs just rug pulling him. He was like, this is so like he was depressed that that was not a thing. And I was like, dude, I get you're like you're pissed off, but like holy crap, why is it affecting you this much? Did people used to not like seeing so much Nero? No, I think Nero's always been a pretty beloved character, unless you just were a like Tamamo fan. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people have in general liked it. Like even Ellie, people are like, oh, boo Ellie, but I think Ellie was still a beloved character. Ellie was that character that people liked to kind of shit on. Isn't Nero Venus technically not actually Nero? No, it is actually Nero. But I think it's like it's her manifestation of the goddess, not like the goddess itself. Her getting into the pumpkin outfit in the idol event. Yeah, I think people are referring to like pre FGO complaints about Nero, which again, my understanding of any of that is mostly just that like people would be like, "Oh, she's annoying" or something like that. And I think that's just because again, like they were probably like a Tamamo fan or something like that. So they didn't find it endearing. That's the cooldown one. Well, we're definitely not going to get triple Buster or triple Quick, so they'll be the last two. Okay, we just have 100 more to collect. And we're done with that. And chat, what do I need to know about the guild duel? The final one. The time, or do we need to wait until after Thanksgiving? You're gonna wait till after Thanksgiving, or Trubs will find you. He will literally rise from his sleep. People that are usually don't like to see so many of X character, usually just people that are mad that it isn't the one that they want. Yeah. And like my only complaints in that regard have ever been that they're just doing too much of something like too frequently. Not that like they can't have like another character again. It's easy to 3-turn. I've heard the guild duel is one of the easiest. ENPs after last break bar. Okay. I mean, would I just be able to like use the comp I'm using now? Apparently, Japan has Mariah Carey unthawed a month early. A lot of places already have their Christmas decorations up. And at least to be fair to them, this year Thanksgiving is very late, which means that it's a very like tight time for going from Thanksgiving to Christmas. So I won't blame people for putting them up early this year. That being said, still no chat. No on the music. You guys can song request all the music you want post Thanksgiving, and I will not complain. He's content now that he's watched Witch again. I don't believe you. Thank you for the lurk, Zach. Okay, sweet. That's exactly what I'll do then. Oh, I didn't. Damn it, I didn't check to see how many I got off of that. I'm really worried we're going to level up right here. But I'm pretty sure I need at least 1 or 2 more runs. We went from 40 to 84. So yeah, it's 44 per. Yeah, I need 2 more runs. You may be right. I may be crazy. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, 214. Wait, if I'm 180, then did I get the extra party point? And I just didn't realize it? Huh. Interdasting. Akira! Do I like Gundam? I do. I have watched most of the Gundam series, just not all of them. There was a period where I didn't watch Gundam for like 15 years because I got burnt so bad. And if you wish to know which one burnt me so bad, it was a show called Gundam Geno Reconquista, which I consider to be the worst Gundam I have ever watched. And it was like I had finished up, I think, Seed and Seed Destiny right before it. So Seed and Seed Destiny were quite the like slog to get through. And then I watched Gina Reconquista right after that. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just done. It was just like, it is what it is. Zashu. Oh my god, it's been forever since I've heard this. And it's so funny. Nobody song requested this. This came on as we were talking about Gundam. I had trouble with IBO. I mean, Irritable bowel orphans. I like C, but man, Destiny is hot trash. Yeah, not gonna lie. Best Gundam series I've watched are Double O and Unicorn. I was starting to watch Unicorn. I need to get back on that at some point. Double O is one of my favorites, if not my actual favorite. Forever gets requested all the time. Does it? You do realize my playlist has like hundreds of songs in it, right? And if songs are getting requested, we don't hear my playlist. Like it just defaults to this after enough time. Only one I didn't watch was Age. I mean, is Build Fighters actually worth watching? Because my understanding it's way more like for kids. It says Bob did? What, for this? Oh, it just says from playlist on this one. But I specifically requested this one? I don't believe you. It doesn't say that you did. I love the Double O movie. Ooh, I don't remember the Double O movie. Why did I? Well, whatever. I'm gonna watch Wing next, but man, after Mercury, I kind of just want to watch Robotech again. So, what didn't you like about Witch of the Mercury? Like, just so that I can better advise you. You have any ideas for a part 3 without spoiling what's going on with JP currently? Do I have any idea what they will do? No. Like, nobody does. Don't let anyone fool you. Nobody knows. But there are many things that I would hope that they would do. First Build Fighters is enough callbacks that you might enjoy it. The rest gets a bit too kid-oriented. Yeah, that's what I was, like, worried about. Build Fighter is relatable as a gunpla builder. Okay. I sent, where was it? I sent this to Ash the other day because I saw it on Twitter. Oh, why is it like potato quality? Hold on. What? Bro. Look at all them pixels here. Chat, is that better quality for you? So it's saying me trying to convince my friends to join the hobby, and it says, take this god hand and build a Gunpla kit. Trust me, it's never as hard as it seems. You're much more talented than you think. Binoculus. You're right. Too much slice of life high school BS. Plus, that ending was the biggest blue ball ever with the random rainbow light. I thought the ending was pretty good, but yeah, that's because by the ending I was just kind of craving some actual action. Yeah, I think you'll be much more in line with something like Wing, where while yeah, it's still kids, while yeah, there's maybe even a little bit of like, hey, this is high school. It's like it really just doesn't factor in. It's mostly like, aha, we're doing, oh my god, I leveled up and maxed out my Mystic Code in the same match. And that was enough to finish. Oh my god. Might be a resolution change to the URL, probably. Let's do this first, chat. Efficiency? Yeah, that's one way of putting it. There we go. Another grand complete. Yes, it's all racism. Wait, what? But does Gundam Wing have it? Oh no, yeah, Gundam Wing does have it. It actually does. Like there are some moments in it. But that's like one, it's fantasy like racism, and it's not actual racism. It's more like people are being denigrated for. Oh no, maybe there is some actual racism, but I was gonna say it's more like again the divide between Earth and space. That's usually a common trope in Gundam. I mean, if the kids are all interesting, like Full Metal, yeah, they are. Like, I actually think Wing handles it pretty well. Wing is not my favorite, but it's still it's pretty good. To me, the vibe, and chat can tell me if I'm wrong, but the vibe you're gonna get a little bit more off of Wing is gonna be ever so slightly Sentai, as in like each of the Gundams is basically colored like as if it's one of the Power Rangers. Tell me I'm wrong. Wing is very boy band like, yeah. Are they all assholes? There is definitely a scene that you will laugh your ass off in Wing, because one of the characters is a complete asshole. But it's like he's an asshole in a way that you will find funny. G-Quux is worse. The only issue with G-Quux is just you should not watch G-Quux if you have not watched the original Gundam. You will just not understand half of the references going on. And like, even for me, as somebody that has watched it, I had to sit there like asking Trubs about it at points because I had forgotten things. Marina in shambles. Okay, good. Omar knows what I'm talking about. Wing has some good moments. G-Quux is a letter to the OG. It is. It is. And I would not assert that Wing sucks. I would just say Wing is not the best Gundam. But Wing, I think, is a decent Gundam to start with. Because it has a lot of the tropes that you should expect to see in Gundam. And like I said, it is also the one that a lot of people did get started with, because back in the day, Wing was on Toonami and Adult Swim. So a lot of people, that was their first Gundam, myself included. Just feels like the show writer's shit posting. Wait, really? I like Witch of the Mercury. Witch of the Mercury is different. It's good in its own way, but if you're looking for a traditional Gundam because you're trying to get into Gundam, I don't think it's a good one. I think it's like, that's not indicative of the way Gundam normally is, if that makes sense. Oh. HP break, something HP 25%. So glad that I can read all these squiggly lines. Apparently, my girlfriend can partially read Japanese. I do need to change this. Actually, let's go with that. Wait, what? She can read Japanese? Not fluently by any stretch of the imagination, but I think she can like rudimentarily read it. I remember Toonami was all through midnight when Adult Swim didn't exist. Well, it was Adult Swim. It was just Adult Swim Toonami, which I thought was rather cool. Teacher of the UBW chant in Japanese. I am the bone of my sword. You do realize in Japanese he says it in English, right? Saber Wars 3 teaser. I mean, we should have gotten Saber Wars 3. I'm gonna need to do that and that and that and that and that. So the problem is gonna be when I run out. And I think the Mighty Chain matters. I don't remember what the Mighty Chain does here. I just remember Mighty Chain be good. We're gonna go single Tiamat. And we're gonna try to stagger them almost as we would in a like invincible comp. Okay, we still overgaged him. That's good. Oh wow, we overgaged him by quite a bit. Come on, Gil, charge me. Oh, you little bastard. I don't think it's going to be 3-turn because that's stun. And I have no Squirtoria card regardless, other than the NP. The support is the one that actually needs it, but the support only has one card. I don't think she's going to crit them down. Not entirely. Okay, good. Kind of worried there. Okay. That's a lot of defense. Didn't know he could stun? Yeah, I didn't either. I can't do a mighty. I think we're going to do this just to be safe. Because I need this killed, and I'm going to lose my buffs after this turn. So it's like I need him bar broken so that he NPs on this turn. Reminds me of 18 episodes of turn A left. Wait, turn A. Oh, there we go. We got it. Actually, I really didn't need the Mystic Code. I thought those defenses would be stronger. Wait, what? And then the card does 0. I am so confused right now. Is it just anti like crit provision? I'm so confused as to what's going on. Like, I think it's all fine, but like... Did he invuln Pierce? That it does? Okay. Yeah, I think I just kind of got screwed by not having Mighty Chains here. Which I still think I'm going to win, I think. We'll see. It's just definitely not a 3-turn. Oh, wow. It's a 4-turn. Oh, nope. What is that? Like 0 damage with the card. Wait, what? What is going on? Does he just get his NP every turn is why? Also, I do want to say, like, I think it's bullshit that they... All right, now I have to actually know what he does, chat. I didn't think that was going to kill Squirtoria. So I think I need a Mighty Chain there again. Let me double check. Let me make sure that I know what's going on. Wait, hold on. That's Gouda Gouda. Did Avalon not send me his sheet? I got to go back and find it. Oh my god, I see the last time and he didn't send me the sheet then either. Avalon, no. I'm just gonna search for this. There we go. Archer. Successful Mighty Chain will grant sure hit 3 times and increase own dull arrowhead stacks. Decrease their MP damage based on MP type C scaling. Effect can trigger up to 3 times. So yeah, I think the Mighty Chain is what's going to give me dull arrowheads to negate. the extra NP damage. Although, ooh, I did not realize that Squirtle was that close. Let's double back and make sure. And this time he died. Wait, why did that break the capture card there? Okay. I like I like that now I don't get the answer to that. So we beat it without actually knowing whether or not that would have helped me live. But we beat it, and I don't care. I do agree, like, considering I kind of went into this one blind and just did it and didn't bother to like change my comp around. Like all I did was switch my mystic code. This was really easy. And honestly, good. Like, I'm sure some people like that these are really hard. I feel like they shouldn't be. I feel like some of them have been way too punishing for what they are, and that it kind of requires you to have specific units. And I don't think that's good for the game if you want people to be diverse with their grand choice and stuff. So it's like a little bit in the same regard. I hope that when we get to the final chapter, that whatever requires the grands is also not super restrictive, because it would defeat a lot of the point of granding who you want to grand, and it would instead make it a like meta. And I don't think that's a good thing. Who was too hard? Indra was one of them. I think Noah was a little bit overtuned. A lot of it boiled down to like you handling the flood mechanic properly, but there was still like only certain people could nuke Noah fast enough to not have like extreme issues with the fight. Um, and I feel like there was one more. I'm trying to remember. Do a celebratory Medusa Saber roll? No. I already have Medusa Saber on JP anyways. Probably Olga. Can't remember hers though. Olga wasn't too bad. I feel like you'd have to remind me. Assassin was terrible. Assassin was pretty well defeatable if you just took a support comma. At least I felt like. I didn't feel like the assassin one was too bad. Trying to remember who it was. We said Rider and Lancer. Bloody power fame. Oh yeah, now I could just now I can just use the Mystic Code. Tee hee. I'm doing pretty good, Arch. How are you? Covered in bees. Bob's default status, covered in bees. Hello, Katana. How's it going? Let's see. Saber was Musashi. I didn't feel like it was too hard. Berserker was a little bit harder than Saber, but I also didn't feel like Berserker was too hard. Then it was Lancer. And then who was it after that, chat? Was it Ryder after that? No. It was Olga, then Ryder, then Assassin, then Archer. Maybe it was only the two then. Or maybe I'm misremembering and maybe our Assassin was kind of more difficult. Do it like that. Assassin made Sithino good. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what Sithino's always been good at. And that's why when people kind of shit on Sithino, I'm just like, she has her uses. Like, I'm not somebody that believes that Sithino is this, like, trash unit. She is very niche, though. But she does occasionally have situations like that pop up where it's like, oh, yeah, if you use Sithino, it's actually the easiest thing. And it's like, huh, interesting. Also, damn, I'm getting 7 million from this. Okay. Well, at least the AP is spent down there. To show chat my progress. I don't remember how many I started with, but we're down to only 14. And I have strategized it somewhat. I am trying to do them in order of rarity. And here's why, chat. Because in order of rarity, units that I will versus won't have, I have every 3-star and lower. The only ones that I wouldn't would be if they're a story locked or like limited 3-star. Therefore, if I start with the 4 and 5-star units and I get all of them complete, even should the 0 AP expire, none of these will go away. For instance, I also just got red hair, but red hair is already bond 5. So this tells me I just need to level him. I think it's Ascension 4 is what I need there. Instead, it was still my MVP against Kamazots? That's wild. Friendly reminder for people to farm your grands of other tiers as well as this one. Wait, what do you mean of other tiers? But yeah, it's like everything else here. It's like I think the next one I'll do will be book. But quite literally, I just have like I think the book and this one to finish, and then all of my 4-star and higher that are non-welfare are done, which is really really nice. That just eases up so much on this. But yeah, I think I started with like 40 strengthenings today, and you guys saw yesterday I had like 20 interludes. We got the interludes done. I mostly was working on the strengthenings today at work because, like, again, it's 0 AP, spend my AP down in the morning, and then just kind of like casually do it at work. So definitely helped out. Some folks didn't do previous ones. I gotcha. Don't look at his Ishtar, Bob. Yes, my Ishtar has not had her upgrade done. I'm sorry. And well, sorry, the writer Ishtar hasn't. The OG Ishtar, I just did that one today. And that one I had been meaning to do for a bit. Oh, why did I do that? Well, whatever. It's not gonna matter. Die. Some folks don't like bleached earth nodes. It is what it is. I think the bleached earth nodes, unfortunately, I think we've seen the last of them. I don't think they're going to add anything more to the bleached earth, at least not until after the conclusion. So I'll be curious to see if they continue to expand bleached earth beyond this point. But I think, again, with the conclusion, we're going to solve the bleached earth issue. So I think they're going to leave it as it is. Because I also think the devs are maybe realizing, like, oh shit, some of these nodes are a little bit too efficient. And they're not going to put every single thing in there. Yeah, I literally think it's just the book. Just the book. Can hand wave it as simulator BS? Oh yeah, I think like it's fine. I don't think it's like actually a concern, but I don't think they're gonna continue to add to it. Because I also wonder if the devs are maybe sitting there thinking and going like, maybe this is not the best scenario. What if we even keep the bleached earth? I'll be honest, chat, and you guys can tell me if you agree or disagree. Would you be disappointed if we kept the bleached earth? I would. Like, I think we have languished through this like story chapter for 6 years plus. So it's like, yeah, I would want them to actually move on. I'm kind of admittedly tired of this chapter. Like, Cosmos and the Lost Belt was good, but it dragged on way too damn long. Probably gonna be a map toggle? No. They don't handle anything else that way. Like, we can't go back and um do old content, plus it's in its own section. So I raised you the Kiara CCC event. Yeah, it's in its own section. Like, that's not a toggle. We know what the bleached earth is, so we may keep it. No. You will have the section still, chat. You will not keep the earth bleached. Please understand what I am saying. And I'm not going to explain that in case you don't know. Yeah, it's not going to be a toggle, is my point. It'll have a part 2 tab. Yeah, I mean, that's like, we literally already have that. And it'll just stay that way. Like, we'll get a part 3, assumedly. But that, okay, so to be fair, yeah, maybe if we don't get a part 3, it stays the way it is. That would be really fucking weird. but I honestly couldn't tell you otherwise. Like, this is why I say a lot of this stuff really just depends on what they're going to be doing in the future. Tie-dye to Earth, please no. Hmm. Let's do that since this. I actually need to try since this is a Lancer versus a 200k Saber. Become type Chaldeus. What if we became type Fujimaru? Is everybody getting ready for Gudda Gudda raids? Actually, I should be asking for ready to roll FP. Gudda Gudda raids won't really be till the weekend, and I would be real. I don't think you're going to be able to farm them very much. Is going to be the problem. I would expect a new treadmill if we get part 3. I mean, we pretty much know they have to. Every treadmill they have in the game is kind of defunct. Like, and let's be clear here, chat. The treadmills have been defunct since last year. The grand duels and grand system is a holdover to tie you up until we get to whatever new thing would be. I certainly love including the moon in their works. Yeah, but the only moon that I want to see in the works, chat, is this one. Why is the capture card just like... Oh, okay, monitors. Fuck off. Maybe that's not a capture card thing. Maybe that's just Windows 11. Chat, this moon. Dawn of the final day, yeah. Actual type moon. You don't talk about the moon? Boy, Windows 15 should take over, yeah. I'd love another Zelda game with Majora's Mask mechanics. There's a ton of people that don't like the Majora's Mask mechanics. I do. I think like to some people it creates like anxiety for them as they have to play. But for me, I always felt like it was a pretty interesting thing. She got my Zerk Torita 10 Nice. Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda. It's mine as well. But I am biased. I don't ironically love Great Bay Temple. I think like Majora's Mask at least had some really like it was coming off of the formula that they kind of already perfected with Ocarina of Time and just implementing a bunch of like interesting mechanics. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, chat. We have done all of our deeds for the day. Time to chillax. Monk a shoot? Yes. Okay. Sorry, Smash Mouth. Time to go. Ah, the gong, chat. Okay, so we haven't expanded the base. Well, except for the Yeti that I have. But you guys got to see the sacrificial table on the weekend. But I do have this now. Why is there a wolf again? Rock, come, your people need you. Oh, never mind. Nordheimer Fighter 3 doing his job. Yeti where? I wish I hadn't. That's right. Okay, where's Labubu? Hold on, chat. Hold on. Wait, can I not? Does it lock my mouse to the game? Okay. Did you learn any spells? We've learned every magic spell now. So, wait. There's Labubu. What happened to... Okay, there's Grok. Let's grab Dunstallion. And, hold on. You guys need to not murder hobo everyone that you encounter. Oh, you have my brimstone. You have my dragon bone. Hold on. I still don't know why people are floating. Let's throw the dragon. Nope. Where did I put all the dragon bone? I don't know, but it's gonna go in there.
Is your life.
Jesus, dude, you didn't have to go that hard with the line. Okay. So, I do have to capture 3 individuals. I'm gonna apologize for this in advance, chat. I have to, blood for the blood god. And the reason I have to do this is because we need basically 3 souls to light the teleportation stone. Which is what we're going to do today, is try to get some of the teleportation stones set up. Okay, so we got him done. His blood will sit there in the thing for a little bit. We'll bring over the next one. I do wish I didn't have to dismount to grab these guys. But that'll be 2 of them, so we just need 1 more. And I know where to easily get another one. Where are all the Brondos, Cad? Listen, I go with different naming conventions each time. I always have. If you want a Brondo, you come make one. Okay, so let's put the blood in the flask. Get in the flask! And then on to the next one. Then I'm just positioning it so chat doesn't have to actually watch some dude get his throat slit. Because it is a bit, like, fucked up. But that is Conan. Conan has always been brutal. Okay. Get another one. Oh, okay. My horse! Gonna ride right up the top up here. Should be one other guy that we can grab easily. One of the reasons I have my base where it is because it's very centrally located. Oh, that is a tier 3. He's not a named or anything, but he is at least a... Dude, I like how you were not hitting me, and yet somehow you were. Chat, give me 1 second. I'm gonna log into the admin just so I can teleport away and teleport back just to get him back on the screen. Because you guys saw it. Bro literally just fell through the world. It's still one of my biggest complaints about this game, and they've done so much to fix it already. I don't know why it is such an issue, but it is. So, I don't know. We'll just, like, teleport down here. Teleport back up to here. Uh-oh. Carpenter 2 and Bear 3. I don't really care about either of them. Okay, so this should be the last dude we gotta sacrifice for this. Actually, can I eat something while this is going on? Survey says yes. Interesting. What a perfect time for a meal. Okay. Go get the dancer to remove our corruption. Dancer that has ginormous bazongas. That's usually why I don't make them that big. They become, like, unrealistic. Okay, so now we have our 3 blood in the flasks. And now we can ignite this. If the game won't glitch out. So we're just gonna call this Cadmelot again, because I can. And let's see about making another. So... I always hate splitting stacks in your inventory. It becomes kind of annoying. Well, you know, now that I say that, chat, I should actually sacrifice 3 more dudes. Because wherever I go to set up the connecting one will need to be... kinda adjacent. Oh. Huh. They did get knocked unconscious. Okay. That works. I kind of wish you could just like turn this animation off and just skip it though. Because it very much is a like disturbing animation. But the ideal will be that with the transitory stones that you want to basically put them up at key locations. Like now there's one here at my home. And I'm going to want to put them in various places around the world for quick and easy access to things. Both in terms of general area and in terms of like resources. Like one of the best ones immediately would be like near Supamaru. Because Supamaru is very centrally located. It's a very good place to get thralls. It is also a place that is near the Brimstone Lake. And a place that basically is near an abandoned silver mine. So you can definitely get a whole lot of value from setting up something over there. There should be one other dude. I didn't see if some other guy was knocked unconscious up there. But he should be. Gonna teleport out here. Teleport back up to here. Yeah, I don't see anyone else unconscious. There should have been the carpenter. And I don't see what happened to the carpenter. Take everything he had. Hey, Wombat, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. How you doing? How is your evening going? Who are you? Are you a barkeep? Please tell me you're not a barkeep. Aspa of the Forest is a builder? Is this a carpenter? Huh. If she's the name Carpenter, that's actually really good. Oh. Paying lurk tax while I eat. No problem. Appreciate it. I know Conan's not everyone's cup of tea. And I won't, like, perpetually play this. I have some ideas for other things I'd like to be playing with you guys on stream in downtime. Aha! So she is a carpenter. Sweet. So that's nice. And she is the builder type, which looks like it gives a lot more durability to things, which actually could be very good. Hey, Grok. Garden brick I will take. I'll take a carpet. I always take one of these paintings. Ooh, an actual vitality paint. How? There, God. Heal myself with that. So this means I need to go get probably more people out of New Asgarth, because I should be good on all the other material requirements. I think I need to craft 3 more torches, which I suspect I am low on plant fiber for. Yep. Okay. Alright. Bro, how? How is... How? Jesus! If that had happened in a place where I couldn't move my thrall, that would have been pretty rough. So right now they're equipped with truncheons, chat, so they can't actually deal damage. They can only incapacitate things. So, like, for instance, the outsider there just got smacked. So, Supermaru is a good location. I may do one up at the Mountains of the Dead. I definitely need one somewhere in the jungle, and probably one closer to the unnamed city. Those are like the minimums, and there's still other good locations besides that. Okay. Why is the combat music oh, there's another wolf getting mauled. Jesus, dude. Fruit punch for everyone, right?
Joy of slaying.
Get kicked on, scrub. Go get him, boys.
I saw something. Your death will be as meaningless as
None of them are of any... Where the... Oh, okay. Let's not aggravate the wolves. He says as he rides right through the wolves. Hey, guys, can you stop levitating? I get that you're both taskmasters, but... like, they can't even get down from there. They're just expressing themselves. It's so funny that, like, all that's going on in the background. We're just gonna go ferry those bodies real fast. Get them out of there, because they each count, and I need to get them converted. Since, like, none of them are actually of any value. I already have each of those crafters. The only thing I'm really looking for right now are, like, tier 3 and named people. Otherwise, my base is pretty good in terms of its setup. I guess technically I need priests, but priests are another issue entirely. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, it's like it's bugged out. Okay, I can interact with her. Can I interact with another, like, work table? Yeah, I can interact with the work table. Okay. Yeah, I guess it just needed time to, like, time out. But yeah, chat, we will expand the base here. That is coming soon. I need the, like, transitory stones set up, at least to a rudimentary sense. because that's what's going to allow me to go around and get resources faster to help build this base. And I have a cool idea in mind for what I want to do here. Okay, let's go back. Let's grab the last one. Technically, in order to get the next stone set up, I'm already good. I don't need them, but I just figure, like, why leave a body there when it can be converted? And that'll save me from having to gather more later. Especially since I went through the effort of, like, clearing out the wolves at the entrance to get in here. Yeah, I really do love how, like, custom crafted Conan's world is. I really wish that they would expand this game so much. And it's funny because everybody I know that plays Conan still feels the exact same. Like, Conan is still a very beloved game by the people that, like, actually do enjoy the IP. And it's so weird that, like, the devs kind of stopped because they've actually been able to milk Conan for a lot of money. Okay, so now we have what we need for the next transitory stone. At least in terms of that. So I have the silver bars. I need to grab the alchemical base, which I need 75 and 200 bricks. Huh? Huh? How did it put twine in there? Like, what? Wow, I'm at 99%. Feels good, man. Okay, so that would do it. Now I currently hold everything in my inventory that I would need. Let's double check. So my dudes need some more leafy greens. That is not nearly enough. Put down the blanket there. Actually, kind of do need to clear out my inventory of some crap, but it is what it is. I'm at the point where, like, because I'm not ready to go out and farm a bunch of thralls yet, I'm just stacking easy acquired gear. I need to keep that in my inventory. This needs to get out of my inventory because it's got very little left. I don't have the technology yet to, like, repair it or do anything with it. Also, this pick, which is a nice pick for harvesting black blood. You barely ever need black blood for anything. Okay, that should be easily enough plant fiber. And seeds. Although I believe I can just smash seeds for oil. Let's take a look at that. Yes, I can. Not gonna smash any of those because I kind of need them. In fact, what I will do is let's run over to the planter over here. And let us instead throw in seeds. Just let that shit work. Throw in compost and let that shit work. That should get them out of my inventory. Okay, let's double check one last time before I leave. I think it's too close to another stone. This is why it's giving me so much shit. Yeah, okay, so we do have everything in our inventory, otherwise that won't go green. Okay, where's the horse? Where's my horse? There's my horse. Okay, so what did I do with the brimstone? Croc, do you have it? No. Where's Labubu? Labubu, why are you down here? Okay. I like how they just teleport onto this. Boo Boo, can you just stop, like, drowning yourself? I get it, you're demonic, but kind of weird. I have way too many seeds there. I'm looking for my brimstone. Okay, there is some there. I think I need 50. It may only be like 20. I don't remember, but I'm pretty positive that's the amount. And then I need 3 of these. Bro. Or I'll just take them in my inventory, since the game just refuses to allow anything. And then the Asura's Glory is literally for my horse. It's my horse. Where is my horse? I am blind. Where is my horse? There it is. Okay, so we had the building materials, I have the brimstone, and I have that. So now I have everything I need. Let's go make a trip to Supermaru, chat. Can you actually imprison A P&J in a brick hut with no door. P&J. Like a player? Is that what you're asking? Can you imprison like another player in a brick hut with no door? Yes. In theory. Like, they'll just eventually starve and respawn somewhere else, though. And even if you have nowhere to respawn, you will still respawn, like, all the way back in the desert. So, it's not like Rust where you can perpetually, like, trap someone. Which I think is one of the worst aspects of Rust. Oh, let's not. Nope, 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 nope. Almost went off that cliff. Just when you could just take a random spawn when you died in Rust? Maybe? We actually don't want this. We want, basically to keep riding west. I should probably equip them with actual weapons, too. Might be a good idea. So that route, if memory serves, goes through the tradeway. But I don't want to go through the tradeway. Tradeway will take me on the east half of the mountains here. I want to go on the west half. This is also another cut through the tradeway. You can see we're on the ridge of the like spine of the mountains, and so it's still kind of considered desert here. Yep. This will take me down. Should always be able to off themselves and respawn elsewhere. Yeah. I mean, can you not, like, select not to respawn at your base? Try to grab some brimstone. Okay, got some brimstone. Get out of there. That is hilariously one of the easiest ways to farm brimstone, is just gradually, but we will come back with some sort of device that allows us to stand the noxious fumes there. And that whole lake, every black stalactite you see there, that is brimstone. There's a lot you can do. Chat, the skeleton are angry. It's also easy access to coal if you come down here. You can see it's quite literally dotting the landscape. Why are you chasing after my horse? Okay. Normally I'd put it over here, but would it be better here? No. No, it would not. Also, we leveled up. Another point in strength. So I've already maxed out my authority. That's what allows me to have 2 companions. I've maxed out my expertise. That's what allows me to build better buildings. And I am working on strength just so I can actually damage people. It helps to be able to contribute to damage output. Ah, that's not where I wanted to go. But it'll work. Where do I want to go? I wanted to go out the... Yeah, I want to go out this side. So chat, this is Supermaru. It is the only non-hostile settlement. As long as you don't start shit, none of the guards or normal NPCs will start shit with you. However, then you see travesties like this, where there's a male dancer, and you kind of just gotta let that shit fly. Oh, that is a named of some sort. It's probably a named cook, since they have daggers. Which named cook is kind of meh. I'll come back for him. Just really wanted that armor 2. Blacksmith 2. That priest. This here is on the south side, so it's closer to the mine. This is usually where I set up my stuff. Oh my god. How many? Jesus.
Death will be as meaningless as your life.
I'm stuck on them. Jesus. Okay, so where it says building is not allowed here, it's because we're too close to the point of interest, aka the town. That's weird. I've never had an issue placing. Okay. There we go. So now, as you guys can see, there's Cadmelot. We're gonna name this one Supamu. And basically what this allows us to do, chat, is if we want, we can now teleport right back to base. So having this online, I now don't have to make the long ride all the way back to here. I can now just go bloop, bloop, and just teleport back and forth. And it's great. And also, if you partner up with me in a guild or something like that, you guys can use these too. Okay, so now we get to check Supamu and see, is there anybody here I want? But we're going to start out by doing one of these. And the reason why is because I happen to know something that these assholes don't.
Invaders!
Which is that there are hostile people in here called Duh.
Die, outsider!
And what happens is that everybody gets an aggro.
I will cut
So you'll see me just kind of contribute every now and then, just kicking people over. Mostly just to stagger them so that the thralls can deal with it. Oh, aloe extract. Ooh, money. Ooh, aloe extract. This is kind of par for the course. If you start shit in Supamu, you gotta fight everybody. Unfortunately, even if you don't start shit in Supamu, if someone starts it with you, you gotta fight everyone. Come on. Get him.
Clubs, poxy balls!
Ah, God, they're throwing the... I hate those guys. Keeps throwing firebombs.
I go to the stillborn god.
Die, outsider!
Yeah, I'm really just clearing these assholes out because I just don't want to deal with them. That's all this is. There's also occasionally loot. Where can you use money? Is there a trader that will suddenly show up at your base? You can, like, at certain traders spend money. To me, none of the stuff they have is actually worth anything, unfortunately. But the loot from killing some of these people is... We're not going to tangle with guards and other NPCs that we don't have to do. You don't full clear Supamu because there's just no reason to. But what you do is you cycle any crafter thrall you see. What I mean by cycle is you kill them. And the reason why? That way they might show up as a name the next time they spawn. That's a dancer. But it's only a dancer one. They really do like killing people.
Your death will be as meaningless as your life! Your death will be as meaningless as your life!
Nobody else got aggroed from that, I think. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know why it's still playing the combat music. Okay, Archer. So this one, we potentially will pull the entire area, so I have to be very careful. Dancer 2. Guards are never named. Not unless they are like, I think there's like a unique archer that can spawn here, but I mean, it's not even that good. Anner, Smelter.
Darkness comes.
Yeah, the only thing I'm doing is I'm just checking them for loot. Fancy meeting you ladies here. Might I introduce you to Labubu and Grok-chan? Well, I see how it is. Huh? I don't know why it's spawning me in the lake like that. It's kind of actually terrifying. Actually, let's remove all the corruption I currently can. And there's a reason why. Because we're gonna go through this portal. Ah, that's where my other brimstone is. Sometimes you gotta wait. It takes a second to like load everything. Is what it is. Or you just go like, see. Just go like out and in. I think it's because I just died, so it's just having a hard time. You can also extinguish this if you don't want anybody else to use your gateway. Man. It is really not wanting to spawn the stuff. There we go. Like I said, I don't know why. Sometimes it does that, and it's kind of annoying when it does. So that's the penalty, however, for teleporting. Behold, really, really, really bad, like, corruption. And it does not immediately go away. That's what the tainted buff is. So, like, my character will just look all weird-ass, pasty, and emaciated for a bit. Thankfully, gangs of Supermaru have not respawned. Like the boys are back at it.
The cobra, my
to the stillborn god. Jackal laughs for me.
Okay. Good lord. All of them are dead. Give me the money. I don't care about cycling the Taskmaster. I think I already have a named one anyways, or at least a Taskmaster 3. Getting a dancer would not be bad, but... Oh. Might help if I convinced everybody to follow me again. So when you die, all of your companions go on scouting mode, which is just... They just stand where they are. And eventually they will return back to, like, whatever their home base spot potentially is. Which I don't know how or if you even can set. But we are just out here to check Supermaru. So now it's going to get a little bit more difficult with all that corruption.
Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Yeah, boys, you liking the show? She's not dancing for me. So kill her. I can barely do a full combo.
Serpent, enemies at the
Whew. Piece of meat.
death will be as meaningless as your life.
When they say the same line at the same time. Black rhino head, that's actually somewhat rare. Gold heavy coin purse. Ooh, 129 silver coins is nice. So like there are merchants like this that like you could purchase stuff from. Like I said, most of the stuff that they sell, it's just not worth.
Come again if you survive.
Okay, I guess it would be nice if you didn't want to have to go get the items, but by the time, unless you settle right next to Supermaru, by the time you get over here, you don't care. I just don't feel like fighting all these dudes. Very rarely does good stuff spawn out on this end of town. Though sometimes you'll get some stuff up here on the ridge. Civ 6, oh no. You're saying it's the bad end of town? At least in terms of, like, spawns. Damn, bro took for what? A taxidermied scorpion. Why? Who would want that? Give me the gold. Okay, kind of difficult to see, but I do roughly know where I am. The problem
life.
I like how somehow he's still got a hit in behind himself without turning his body. There's some supply materials. Those could potentially be good. Could you always have two thralls following you? Because I remember as far as from you playing this, you only had one with you. It is a perk of getting authority all the way leveled up. Sometimes I don't level my authority all the way, but I've started to do it because it's really just like the companion thralls are just very strong. Is that all of them? Nope. I was gonna say, that felt light. 105 silver. Okay, now we're making like kind of the loop back to the entrance.
So you live, and we meet again.
Hey chat, it's Conan.
Any fool can see that you need answers. Left hanging for the vultures on that cross. A cursed bracelet that keeps you trapped.
What the hell is this? No wonder my corruption's going down so slowly. I mean, at least she's attractive.
I'll be here a while. His wine tastes like boiled camel's piss.
You have a Labubu thrall, really? Yes.
I'm gone.
You don't like the fact that I have a Labubu?
Questions.
I've started a bar fight, chat. Wow. That was actually close to killing me. Chat, you'll have to forgive me. They kind of deserved it by being all male dancers. It is a crime punishable by death. Everyone good? We good? Okay. Now, you. That sounds like a sandstorm coming. And that will hit me. So we're gonna stay in the bar for a bit. Where I am fully sheltered. And somehow losing corruption. Huh. That must just be the effect of standing right here, regardless of whether or not the thralls are actually a thing. Because you're not supposed to... Like you're supposed to be able to lose corruption here from these dancers. But in retrospect, it's like they're actually aggressive dancers. So it is what it is. Wait, what? Am I not considered to be in shelter here? So again, there is a sandstorm going on outside. Hence the reason it's blowing really hard and making a lot of noise. And why I'm staying indoors. Because the sandstorm basically starts over here, comes all the way across. Or actually, I think it may work in reverse. It starts like down here, comes all the way across, and goes all the way through Sapamaru. Okay. It's expiring.
Crumbs, poxy balls!
By the old serpent, invaders!
Crumbs, poxy balls! Your death will be as meaningless as your life!
I don't actually need to kill the fighters. That's an archpriest. Well, we're actually just here for one reason. And that reason is quite literally to get this dancer. You'll see why, chat. So, fun fact, you can drag a thrall through a teleporter. And ever since I discovered that, man, it has made my life in Conan so much easier. They should be able to remove the corruption from the prior teleportation. Although this is only an Entertainer 1. Get the Entertainer 3. No, 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 keep dancing. No, 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 keep dancing, keep dancing, keep dancing, damn it. But yeah, the tainted debuff basically becomes uncleansable until the like debuff wears off. So like it'll cause a portion of your corruption not to be a thing. Oh, it's unconverted. Ah, because we don't have Gruul. Shit. I forgot about that. Oh my god, there's so many thralls in the way. I'm actually impressed that the wolves keep spawning at this point. I would think by now they would have stopped. Ironstone and bone. And the Zamorian dancer. No more long runs back to base. Right. So that's what you do, is you want to set things up where a teleporter is centrally located so that it has easy access to a lot of what you need. Okay. I don't know why the Ironstone's so damn heavy, but it is. Get in there. Also gonna take the coinage. throw it in the treasure coffer. And so we are carrying a Zamorian dancer, chat. And you may be wondering, but why? And the answer is because I want to. And I want to because I'm taking her back to Supermaru. And now you might ask, but why? And I'm going to tell you because, one, she will help guard the teleporter. Particularly if I give her nice stuff. Which I'm actually just going to go ahead and give her a Star Metal Sword. And two, she will sit here and she will cleanse corruption. Because she'll just dance, as a dancer does. So this actually works out perfectly. And usually what I do is I put 1 to 2 dancers at every location that I set up. This is also why Supermaru is usually the first one that I get online. Because there's so many thralls here that you might be able to, like, find somebody to help set up the rest of your base.
Good day, noble adventurer. I am Gilzan.
Yeah, I don't care. No. Shut up, Gilzan. And behold, chat. Respawn. That being said, there was a named dude on the other side of town, so I should probably go grab him. It's probably, again, just a named cook, but better a named cook than a not named cook. So. Plus, I do think there's, like, some sort of limitation artificially. There's an archpriest. Bear hug. So this item, the Eyes of Set, if you consume it, will allow you to learn the Set religion. There's a couple items like...
Die, outsider!
I'm not doing nothing. No siree. Nothing to see here. There we go. Uh-oh. Hey, Mr. Gurus, that's going. Oh, God. I'm gonna die. Let me get up here real quick. Oh. Dictionary. Interesting. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Miss Ivy, thank you for the resub. How was stream? And what were you guys up to?
Set, identify yourself.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find a healing item real fast. I should have a bandage somewhere in here. Did I get rid of all my bandages? There. Numbing wraps. This is Conan Exiles, if you guys have never seen it. It is a survival craft game. It is old, but it is good. I love it. It's just also very brutal in the way that Conan as a IP is. Okay, did they finally knock everybody out? Okay, there's a dancer. Oh, it's a male dancer. Hold on. Playing Dispatch, just finished episode 2. Nice. How are you liking it? I gotta get back and like play Dispatch through a second time. Just to either make some different choices or to like try and perfect my run. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where'd you guys come from? Okay, calm. Down. Oh, come on, dude. I literally was holding down the key to block, and I was just caught in an animation and couldn't do it. Yeah, this is the problem with dealing with like massive corruption is you just don't have a lot of like health. So it becomes very, very difficult. You'll be playing again? Nice. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It in a weird way I could almost say it's my game of the year. It is difficult to judge it. I'm just gonna admin teleport. I'm not waiting for this thing to spawn. My teleporter should be around here. But okay, I'm very glad that that did not kill me. Because it easily could have. But yeah, in many ways, it's kind of like my game of the year. It's difficult to say that it's a game like other games. Like, if you've played any of the Telltale series games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of like saying a visual novel is game of the year. And it's like, well, yeah, it might be your game of the year, but it's like it's difficult to call it an actual game at that point. And that's kind of what Dispatch is, but I would argue that Dispatch at least is far more of a game than any of the prior Telltale games really were. Where's my horse? There it is. Where's my body? There it is. Let's do that, and then drink some, and that should at least get me some regen. Yeah, there you go, from the rest of that. I need to mop up. Oh, that's a sorcerer there, no wonder. You can see the game is very gory and bloody. Cloth satchel. Take the golem arm. We'll definitely take more healing wraps. A sorcerer spell page. If anybody needs more, I can recontribute. I don't need to kill the fighters. That's just a normal set priest. I don't really care. Go check out the other crafter thralls here. Got 2 blacksmiths. I'm gonna give one of you your weapon back. Actually, I'm gonna give both of you your weapons back. Because we need to cycle these guys. Reminds me of OG Walking Dead. Yeah. I like the actual dispatch minigame in it. I feel like that's such a cool way of handling it. It's kind of funny because they partner with Critical Role, but a lot of what the dispatch minigame reminds me of is almost D&D itself. Okay. There we go. No good loot on either body. Now, one of these should be a named. I have Blacksmith 3, but I think I already have a Blacksmith 3. Carpenters. There's another dancer. Bragaras the baker. Hey. Okay, boys, you know what to do. Get your clubs out. We're going clubbing. Oh, they kind of got me pinned. Jesus. I'm sitting there like defending and they're just like, no. Yeah, now everybody is trying to kill me instead of the companions. Now they're pinned. No.
Death will be as meaningless as your
No.
life.
Huh. They de-aggroed? Weird. I'm not gonna question it. I can't get on the horse. I hate when the NPCs do that, where they basically, like, the horse straddles them and they block access to them. Let's get out of here while we can, while I still have my life. Take the named cook back. And there we go. Okay, so the dude made it through. If it'll let me, I'm gonna go back for that other dancer. Because again, another dancer. I can put them out here. Jesus, the corruption is so high. I can't run for any amount of time now. And half my bar is like perma-tainted. Okay, let's grab the dancer. Where? Wait, did the dancer fall through the world? There was definitely a dancer here. I'm not insane, right, chat? I'm just checking to make sure she didn't fall through the world, but I don't get it. Because the respawn should have made her not fall through the world. But it is what it is. Okay, if that's the case, we have one other thing we can do. And that's going here. You may be wondering, why would I come in this place? This is one of the game's dungeons. And that is its first boss. And when I say boss, I'm going to use that term loosely. Because as you see, chat, he don't do much. Yeah, he didn't drop it. He has a unique truncheon that he can drop. It's actually quite nice. But sometimes they'll come in here and just kill him just because he's so easy to take down. And just kind of run out and let it reset over time. Either the armor got up or he's undead. Either way, I'd say that's a good run for tonight. Getting the teleportation system set up is huge. That is now a much better setup for progressing everything. And again, I've done all of this myself, so it's really, really nice to like do all of this. I feel like to some degree I could turn the gather rates back down on the server, but I think for other players playing and for the amount of building I usually do, I shouldn't. This becomes a bit of an issue. But all right, chat. We're going to end it here for tonight. Let me see who all's on. I see a Mr. Fox for us. I'm going to send you guys his way. He's playing some FGO. And yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. You guys know the drill. Unfortunately, there's a live stream. I won't be here for it. I'm sorry. I will be back for you guys Thursday, though. We will cover the event as it drops. I'll field any questions you guys have then. But again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to those of you guys who stuck around to the end of stream. Like I said, I know Conan's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's what it is. So go give Mr. Fox for us my love. I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good one.